This is Offense Presents.
Well, I think they feature their quarterback runs. It's obviously that's always a challenge. In defense, you always try to have an extra hat, and when you realize the quarterback is running the ball, you don't have that. And so then your fits have to be perfect. There's no extra defender. So that's one. I think that the quarterback's playing really good in good big games. He's not making mistakes when critical downs, those kind of things. So that's a problem. Obviously, their wideouts are good. So we got our hands full.
Hugh Freeze said that they don't run as much up-tempo as they used to. Does that allow you to get in more subs?
Well, I hope so. But each game's probably different. I watched the game on TV there, and in the first part of the game, they were going tempo a bunch. So that's what we're prepared for, and then if they don't, they don't. So we'll play it by game situation.
How good's their offensive line?
Good. I think their tackles are really good. Their left tackle's outstanding. He's got what we call hot feet, man. Those feet are really moving, and they're big. The guards are huge, and obviously we know that presents a challenge to us. So I would say a good SEC line, big, physical, athletic kids.
Will you get Owen Williams back?
Yeah, I think I'm planning on him being there. I really am.
How effective do you think he can be?
Well, that's to be seen. We're preparing him physically and mentally, and so, you won't know till game time.
How did the tackles fare last week with him gone, Dixon, some of those other guys?
It was great. We played, I think, 12 defensive linemen last week, so those are invaluable reps, and I think some guys really took a step forward. Miller, Hendricks, those guys really showed up inside. It's still, I think, a learning process for those guys. Doesn't matter who you're playing, but it was great to see some of those guys get out there and get quality reps, and show up.
Does this Ole Miss offense remind you of other teams you might have faced this year?
Well, yeah, the majority of the teams have featured quarterback runs, and so you take last week. Obviously, we felt last week's game film would be good for them because there's a lot of similarity in quarterback runs and those type things. So, for us, it's every week it's tempo, quarterback runs, athletic quarterbacks, those type things.
I know that last year the tackling wasn't up to the standards that Tennessee wanted. How much better is the tackling this year than a year ago?
Well, each Monday we go in and have a defensive meeting and call it the data meeting, and we go over the data, and one of the first ones we go over is number of missed tackles. In those games, I think last week we had 5. So that's drastically better than last year. In most games, we had one bad game this year. Other than that, we've really reduced our missed tackles. So that's key. I think that shows the athleticism, first of all, the back end. Guys getting there. It's the tackling technique itself we worked hard on. So I think it's showing up on the field that we're a better tackling defense.
What's the average this year as far as missed tackles
versus
last year?
I don't know. I just remember Monday it was 5, which was a good number for us.
Coach, along those same lines, the tackles for loss. It's so much, many more. 48 right now, just through 6 games.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
But talking to Coach Jones, talking to some of the linemen, it's like we're not stunting, we're not.
No,
we're not
there's some games we've been really vanilla.
What would you?
Well, I think it's athleticism. And I know we're undersized, but I think we're moving better, and I think the back end's extremely athletic, and so we're not pressuring over amount, to be honest with you. But I think it's just athleticism, so it allows you to make more tackles for loss, and I think a lot of it too is the kids are really locked in. Talking about, say, the reverse from last week. The Barnett makes on the sideline. That's football intelligence and kids putting their eyes where they're supposed to be. Being in the right spot. So I think it's a combination of all that.